friends. Welcome, my alumni friends. I am so grateful that you have been take some time out of your busy day, a Friday, right, to hear a little bit about our alum and our total. It's great how our community has come together with these times that have been so challenging for everybody. And I'll continue to share my story in addition to reference anything that's probably going on with you personally. One of the things that I've learned early in my own recovery is how we need to stay positive. Definitely celebrate those milestones, and never think that you're not that you have to be alone. So we're just, again, thank you for coming on. And I developed a friendship with Barbara, who has been sober. She's a Springfield alum, and she's been sober since February of 2019. And we are, again, just so grateful that she's willing to speak with us today. So welcome, Barbara.
Hello.
Hi,
So,
Barbara.
hi. So today our title is I will not fear. So I guess we'll figure out what we're gonna talk about with this topic here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then we'll definitely, if you're part of the broadcast, our alums, or anybody that's come on today, please send us a comment or a message directed to what Barbara has to say or what we have to say. And we'll do a little Q&A towards the end of when she shares her story, and then we'll definitely go forward and wrap it up. So, okay, go ahead, Barbara.
Hello, everyone. So about 2 years ago, I realized that my life had took a turn into the wrong direction. Um, I probably was already a social alcoholic earlier on in my life, and a lot of times we don't want to admit that we have an addiction. So probably about 2.5 years ago, something bad happened to me. I was raped, and so it kind of pushed me over the edge. I really didn't talk about it, and I just started drinking myself to death. I didn't think I wanted to die. I just didn't want to deal with it. So I didn't. So for 6 months, I just existed. I was just a drunk person, and one day I woke up. The day after I caught a DUI, I woke up and realized I had to change my life or I was going to lose everything. And I had racked up this big lawyer bill because I needed to beat my DUI, of course. So I decided that this was the best time to change my life because a lot of people don't change until they hit rock bottom. So I walked into the Springfield location of Gateway. And at first, I didn't think it was a good idea. I cried about it. And when I got there, um, at first I was going to turn around and walk out, but they welcomed me with open arms. They let me cry. They let me do everything I wanted to do. They heard me out. And the biggest thing is once we got finished, money wasn't a topic of conversation or anything. They just wanted to help me. So they wanted me to start right away. So that was kind of like a relief. The hardest part about going to recovery was I knew that I was already a big influencer to the community. So I felt like I had let everyone down. But I was letting people down by not taking control of my addiction. So I decided that I wanted to get some help. So right away, my first week, I told them the honest to God truth about everything, which was hard for me because that you have to relive it when you tell the truth about all the lies you lived for however long. So once I let out all of my demons, I felt so much better right away. So I actually enjoyed going to outpatient recovery. It definitely made me stronger. It made me know that I was bigger than my problem. And so I talked a lot in the sessions. I got a big mouth anyway. So anybody that knows me know I love to talk. I love to help people. I love to say whatever I want to say. So, you know, at the when I was in rehab, they always looked forward to me talking because I always had this story. I really don't have any family. My family is a family that I created, but my support system is good. I really thought that when I went to rehab that people were going to judge me or look at me different, but they don't. I get so much feedback from me actually going to get help. It's okay to need help. It's okay to, not be prideful. Pride is one of the biggest things. And recovery taught me self worth. It's okay to ask for help. We all have problems. And it taught me patience, which I already had because of my job, but it taught me more patience. I learned um, that if you have a bad day today, it's okay to start over tomorrow. It's okay to speak positive things into your life if you want to manifest them. So, um, I never thought that I was a weak person until I couldn't beat my addiction with alcoholism. It beat me for once in my life. Something had beat me, and so that was the biggest thing for me. I felt defeated. I lost my mom, my dad, even with me being raped. I just kept going, but I never felt I was in abusive. I was a abusive relationship. When I was pregnant with my middle child, I took on someone else's kids, so I had a total of 7 kids. I never felt defeated until I couldn't beat alcoholism. Like I felt defeated for once in my life. And I knew that if I didn't make a change, that I was headed for a path of destruction, um, which I was already in. When I looked 2 years ago, I was broke. I was driving a beat up car, which that wasn't something I was used to. It humbled me. So I felt like, with God, it came like in a thief of the night. I felt like when I had no one else to turn to, I had to turn to God because if I didn't, like that was the end for me. So I took my recovery serious. I did really like the AA that that's for people. I do look into it still. I look at it, but AA wasn't really a big thing in my recovery. Gateway was the way for me. I went 3 months, 5 days a week, didn't miss a day. I started going to church every Wednesday and Sunday. I started talking to my higher power. I started doing what I knew would work for me. And um, in 2 years, I did this 360. Yes, I did have COVID in December. Yes, I just had surgery. Yes, things still happen. But when they happening, I can keep rolling because I'm not an addict. I mean, I don't have an addiction anymore. Of course, I'll always be an addict, in people's eyes because I had an addiction. It's normal. But when stuff happens, I just keep rolling with the punches because that's what we do. You just keep rolling. You hold yourself accountable. I decided to get involved with the alumni because I feel like you can't be part of the problem and not part of the solution. So me being part of the solution is me telling single mothers, rape victims, people that's been abused or whatever your story is. My story goes on and on. That it's okay to reach out for help. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to tell your story. It's okay not to be ashamed. And in the process of all of that, when you feel defeated, I just kept telling myself, I will not fear. I will keep pushing. And no matter what I did, I just kept pushing, kept pushing, kept pushing. And it just made a difference. Every day that I pushed, I wrote down goals for myself. I set them, I stood on them. And the best thing that I did for myself with this whole situation was I used to worry about everybody else instead of myself. Yeah, I worried about myself, but I couldn't take care of anyone if I don't take care of me. So I learned that way in recovery that I have to take care of me. People always want to say my job come before my kids. My kids come before anything. But if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone. So I started taking care of me. And once I started taking care of me, my life changed for the better. And everything just started going well in my life. And so that's where I'm at now. No, I'm not perfect. Do we still have issues? Yes. But it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And me staying involved in the gateway community is me holding myself accountable for the long call. Me saying I will not pick up a drink. That was my addiction of choice. My addiction was alcohol. People make jokes. Like I made a Facebook status recently about addiction. People make jokes about it, but in reality, they probably battling the same thing worse. They probably just don't realize that they're an addict. So whatever it is, gambling, alcohol, pills, whatever your choice of crack, meth, pills, whatever your choice of drug is, they probably just don't realize that they have an issue because they have let it take over their life. So me, I took my life back. And when I took my life back, I said I was going to help as many people as I could. I was no longer going to live in fear, and I wasn't going to keep my story a secret, because we need more awareness in the community. A lot of people are overdosing. A lot of people are dying from alcoholism. A lot of people are doing a lot of things that people are hiding. We got to stop hiding it. We got to embrace it. We got to talk about it. We got to get help. We got to reach out and try to help as many people as we can to try to slow down what is happening in the world, especially during the pandemic. So we're losing a lot of young people right now because people are overdosing, because people think that their recovery or the addiction is a joke. It's not a joke. It's real serious business. It's life taking. It can ruin your life, and we have to take it serious. And if no one takes your recovery serious, you have to. So I'm willing to fall out with anybody but God about my recovery, because I know He gonna always take me serious. So I had to just keep that in mind. If somebody jokes about my recovery, I might not talk to them no more. I'm not mad, but my recovery is everything to me, and it got to be everything to you, because if it ain't for you, it won't be for someone else. And my kids know it. Everybody in my life know how serious I am about my recovery. And I'll do stuff that I did before, but I have my limits. If it's too much for me, I'll disappear like a ghost. I'll let you know I left by text message. But I'm like Casper the Friendly Ghost. If it's too much for me, I'm gone. I'm out in the open with it, with my job, just with my friends, my church family. It's not a secret that I had an addiction to alcohol. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm telling the world. So that's my way of taking control of me. Me saying I'm gonna be holding myself accountable, because now I told the whole world I'm watching me.
You still there, Barbara? Did we
Yeah,
lose
I'm
you?
no, I'm here.
Okay. Okay.
So
You just
that's just a short sweet version of my recovery. And I'm gonna keep pushing every day. I'm not gonna fear. And right now, I'm not defeated. I'm undefeated. 2 years and counting. So I'm gonna keep pushing. Gateway has, even though I'm out of their program, counselors are still awesome. I can still stop by. I can still reach out and talk to them if I have any issues. Uh, they're gonna help me. They're gonna help me do what's best for me still, even though I'm not in the program. So they'll still help you. You keep that relationship with them. You keep it honest with them. I've never lied to them about anything. I've always been open with them, and they're gonna support you. As long as they know that you're serious about your recovery, they're gonna be there 100% to be serious with you about it. And there's so many options. A lot of people don't know. It's not like it was 20 years ago. They have so many different shots, pills, just so many different things that they can help you get over your recovery, get past that hump of vulnerability or whatever it is for you, that's holding you back from getting you some help. They have things to help you counteract whatever it is that you struggling with. So it's not such a bad thing. You gotta hide who you are from people. You don't need to deal with those people. Because I'm gonna be Barbara Allen, an alcoholic that struggled with addiction to alcohol for a few years. That's what that's part of my past. So it's not part of my future though. Part of my future is helping people that was like myself, telling people it's okay, telling people I always knew I had a problem though. That was a good thing about me. From day one, I knew it. So a lot of people don't see it, so it take them longer to get help. So I'm here to show people, to help people, let them know that it's okay. You can be a beautiful, strong woman, man, or whatever, and still have a problem. Because I'm not Beyonce, but I definitely think I'm it. So it's like you can be this strong woman and still have issues. I used to think, oh, I'm too strong for that. Nothing can break me. And something finally broke me. So it's okay. You pick back up. You can't act like it never happened, because you got to be part of the solution. But you pick back up and you keep going, and you definitely don't let it beat you. The pandemic, it scared me when the pandemic came, because we were in the house, no out time. But for the pandemic, for me, it didn't. It just showed me more strength, because a lot of people are struggling more with alcoholism now, probably now than they ever have, because they bored. They're drinking instead of being productive. So you have to be productive. You have to. I'm not a book reader, arts and craft, so I spend more time with the kids, or I find other things to do, or I'm trying to find ways to make more income. So it's other things to do. Get involved in the community, get involved into church. It's other things to do to stay busy than to drink alcohol all day, or whatever your choice of drug is. So you just have to be stronger than what's going on in the world.
Okay. Wow. Thank you, Barbara. We're getting some comments here. Hearing you talk going to motivate me to share my experience, strength, and hope. Love you, Barb. It's from Willis. I think you know
Thank you,
him.
Willis. Yeah, I know him. Thank you.
I've
I'm here
got
anytime.
I know. I've got one question. I got a couple questions for you. Have you, with the pandemic, right? This has been crazy dealing
Yes.
with this last year, now this year. Have you had any cravings or temptations since you got sober in February of 2019?
I'm gonna be honest, I really haven't had any. In the beginning, I craved every day. Like, I
Yeah.
was like, I would go to the liquor store, pull up, throw stuff in the garbage. I would say, "Oh, I'm gonna just have one drink," and like when I would think those things, I would tell on myself. I would tell the counselor that I had those thoughts.
Mhm.
I would have them drop me. Drop me every day, breathalyze me. I never was I never had an issue with drugs, but being alcoholic is the same thing. It's just a different form. It's actually worse because it's legal. Um, but I would have my counselor breathalyze me on Friday and on Monday, so I couldn't cheat the weekend. So that was my way of holding myself accountable. But a lot of people didn't know that. So when I felt the urge in the beginning, I would tell on myself. Now, probably about 4 months ago, I was trying to get off the Vivitrol, which is a shot to help you with cravings.
Right.
Um, and it scared me. I started having some small issues with one of my kids, and so it kind of stressed me out. So before I even the thought of it, I thought about possibly, oh, these kids gonna push me to have a drink. So before I said that out of my mouth, I called the nurse at Gateway, made an appointment, went up there the same day I was back on the shot. So they were available for me. Recently, I've had surgery because I've lost a lot of weight, so I've had some cosmetics. So I recently got off of it 6 weeks ago. I'm fine, but I'm craving sweets. So, but yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm going to, and that's a lot of people, they crave sweets when they're not doing some type of drug or
Yeah.
alcohol. So I'm not going back on a shot. I'm making this big move for myself. It's been 2 years, so I think it's time. I think it's a mind thing. I think, but if I'm wrong, I won't be scared to say I'm wrong. That's one thing I learned about recovery. When I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. If I love you, I'm gonna tell you I love you. Life is short. If I make a mistake, I'll try to fix it. Before, I was prideful, scared. I was scared. I wouldn't even tell people if I was broke. I would still try to help them and couldn't even help them. But if I can't help you, I'm gonna say I can't help you, but I can give you some resources. But before, I wouldn't tell people when I couldn't do something. So now I will. So, do I think that I'm done with the shot? Yes, but I am going to get on a pill to help me with the cravings for sweets, because I once I got off of the alcohol, the first couple months was rough. My glucose kept dropping. I had some major issues that scared me, but now I'm fine. So I'm going to get something else to help me with the sweet cravings. It's just like if you were doing weight loss, they have something to help you with that. And I took that before for weight loss. So I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take the pill form, and just until I feel like I'm ready. Um, but no, I don't have. Um, my birthday was just January the 9th,
Right.
and we had a little get together in my house. And my boyfriend, he doesn't drink daily, but he does drink on occasion. And when I wanted to meet someone to be in a relationship with them, I didn't want somebody that drank every day, or somebody that had an issue with any type of drugs or drinking. Not because I was judging you, because I'm going a different way in my life. Um, and so he drinks, but not very often. So on his birthday, of course, they had some drinks, and I'm to the point now where I can be around other people if we go out to eat. My friends used to ask me, could they drink? And that's fine. I don't want to stop any. In the beginning, it was a no for me, definite. You couldn't do anything in front of me, not because just because I was trying to be a better me. But now I'm in control. So now that
Yep.
I'm in control, no one else can control what I'm gonna do. So I was around alcohol, it didn't bother me at all. It actually wore me down because I don't stay up late at night anymore. When you stop partying and you stop living in a fast lane, you become this normal person.
Well, I remember, I was going to share, when you talked about that a number of times about putting your recovery first. I married, I married, and my wife drinks normally or not at all, or doesn't really even care, and it's part of her thing. And I was not necessarily uncomfortable when we first met, but I realized though that I needed to change the people, places, and things, which we've talked about. Gateway teaches it through outpatient, and just to be able to call out what you're feeling, and the emotions that could trigger something. And our alumni through this last, like, what, year, it's been an absolute challenge. And I think that you do a phenomenal job of calling out what it is, and then being able to share that right with other people in recovery. And then if you're in a place that you need to leave or become a ghost, I love that.
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't think about that. It's so cool, because that's the escape plan that I was taught early by my sponsor. Said, hey, if you know you're uncomfortable, take a second car, have a way to leave.
Well, I don't ever ride with anybody. I've never been the type. I went to a
Yep.
Christmas party. My cousin invited me. He a big businessman, owned a lot of property, so he had a Christmas party, and we used to party a lot together before I became an actual alcoholic. So he didn't believe that I was an alcoholic. So I went to this party. I knew I wasn't gonna stay long. I told myself when I went I was gonna stay 30 minutes. So the minute he offered me a drink, I left. I didn't tell him I was leaving or anything. I texted him, let him know I made it home, and told him why I left to let him know, because maybe he don't realize I'm serious about my recovery.
Yeah.
So I didn't
Yeah.
fall out with him. I just let him know that I'm sober. I'm changing my life. This isn't something that I can be a part of. But I appreciate you inviting me, and
Oh,
that's that.
I totally thank you, Barbara. That is so great. I don't think we have any other questions. But thank you again for sharing your authentic, your real, honest story about where you've come from and where you are today. And like you said, all we have, is one day at a time, right? I
That's
mean,
it. Yeah, one day
that's
at a
it.
time, and then you don't focus. When I think about anything possibly about a drink in any type of form, I think about what it did to me. I think about where it took me, what road it took me down. Do I want to go back through that? And I haven't. I didn't experience a lot of stuff like a lot of people I met in Gateway. I've met some people that had it really bad, like losing their kids, just so many things. And I thank God that that wasn't me. So when I think about a drink, I think about a drink, or do I want to be successful? Do I want to be financially stable?
Right.
Um, do I want to be feeling happy even when I'm having some small issues? Because I used to cry every day when I was an alcoholic. Every single day I cried about my life. Like, what was I doing to myself? So when you sick of you will stop. And I tell people that all the time. Like, I got people in my life that got some problems, and I tell them I ain't gonna keep lecturing you, and I'm gonna keep reminding you that when I see you, like, this ain't a good look for you. Can I introduce you to some people that can help you? Because I know some
Yeah.
pretty powerful people, and they gotta want the help. You gotta want it for yourself. And the biggest thing is, I used to say this every day when I was in class, because I went to class 5 days a week, work full time, went to class 5 days a week, and took care of my kids.
Yep. Well, good. Well, why don't we? I wanted to share, the gateways open, and our residential, our outpatient through all our locations. And you know what? If you need help today, please call 844-954-3574. I'll say that number again. That could be a lifeline for you. 844-954-3574. Also, our Gateway Foundation app, if you just Google it, and you can easily download it on your iPhone or your Android. It's so easy to do. This has been a real big time connection for a lot of our alumni, especially people that you got to know in treatment, or what you're doing, in your life today. So, it's very interactive. It has videos, it has books, it has a lot of challenges. What are you grateful for? In addition to being able to check in with people. So, and our app admins, they'll approve you and put you on the right team, and we'll go forward. So, anyway, that's all my Gateway promotions for the day, Barbara. I'm so grateful that again you came on. You become a really good friend. I can't wait until we can meet face to face in Springfield. um, that would be a wonderful time to be able to do that again. So, otherwise, thank you so much again for coming on. And I will not be on next Friday, and but we'll be on in 2 weeks. And we do happen to have one of our staff members coming on, so we'll check in with you at that time. So again, thank you so much for being here today, and have a great weekend. Bye.